I'm gonna be alright. Yeah, today we're gonna be today we're gonna be reacting on what if there's a bridge between Africa and Europe. If there was a bridge, and just think about it. And just think about it. If there was a bridge, about it would be weird. You today we're gonna be reacting. What if there was a bridge between Africa and Europe? So let's go. Let's continue to watch.
Freedom Herculaneum, or Pillars of Hercules by the ancient Greeks and Romans, is the channel that the Freedom Herculaneum. The Strait of Gibraltar, also known as the Freedom Herculaneum, or Pillars of Hercules by the ancient Greeks and Romans, is the channel that connects the Atlantic Ocean and Mediterranean Sea. At just over 8 miles or approximately 13 kilometers at its narrowest point, this seemingly modest distance separates two continents and marks the meeting point of the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. Despite the relatively short expanse of water and the fact that there are more than 60 bridges worldwide that are longer than 8 miles, no bridge has been built to connect the two continents, leaving many to wonder why such an ambitious project has yet to become a reality. The idea of bridging the gap between Europe and Africa has been entertained for decades, with various proposals surfacing over the years. The strategic importance of this crossing cannot be understated, as it would serve as a vital link between the 447.
To be honest, I didn't know that there's a bridge between there was what is Europe was on top of Africa. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. It has a lot of people. 447. Da, 447 million people in one country. Yeah, eh?
7 million people living in the European Union and the 1.4 billion people inhabiting the African continent. The potential economic impact of such a connection is enormous, as
We were colonized by more population. It's very- Whoa, whoa, I don't know. How many people before? Because now I don't think Africa was in the billions of people last time. I think now just increase. But if Africa is now in the billions, and at the beginning it was less, how was Europe? I think Europe was less. I mean,
as it could facilitate trade and ease transportation between these two major regions. So then, why doesn't such a structure exist? Will you ever be able to drive or take a train across the Strait of Gibraltar? Let's find out. The strait connecting the Atlantic and Mediterranean is around 36 miles long or 57 kilometers. It's between Point Morocco in Spain and Point Sires in Morocco that the strait narrows to just over 8 miles, or roughly the same distance between San Francisco and Oakland. On a clear day, you can even see across the other side. The depth of the water running through the Strait of Gibraltar averages around 1,200 feet, or about 365 meters in depth. There's more to this important waterway. But for right now, it's important to know that the Strait of Gibraltar currently is and always has been one of the most important shipping channels in the world. It's the only natural waterway that connects the Mediterranean Sea to an ocean. The Suez Canal in the Western Mediterranean, which connects the Indian Ocean via the Red Sea, is man-made. Also, the Strait of Gibraltar is much larger and therefore much easier for large ships to navigate through. This means that huge amounts of cargo ships and trade vessels pass through the channel daily. In fact, it's estimated that over 100,000 ships pass through the Strait of Gibraltar every year. In comparison, the Panama Canal, which connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, handles around 14,000 transits per year, while the Suez Canal sees approximately 20,000 ships annually. Many of the ships passing through the Strait of Gibraltar are traveling from the Western Hemisphere to deliver goods to the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. However, there's also a lot of traffic that uses the strait to travel even further east, to Asia and China as well.
How did I become Employee of the Month 74 months in a row? Monday.com. Let's make this short. I run our
Monday today.
At the same time, fleets of ships travel west to bring goods from the Middle East, Africa, and Eastern Europe to Western Europe and the Americas. Being so close to the fossil fuel-rich countries in the Middle East means that enormous quantities of oil and natural gas pass through the strait. Over 300 ships carrying oil travel through the Strait of Gibraltar every day. Just to give you an idea of how crazy this is, a smaller tanker can carry between 70,000 and 190,000 barrels of oil, which is about 3.2 to 8 million gallons. A larger tanker can carry between 190,000 and 345,000 barrels, which is around 8 to 14.5 million gallons of oil. So, a smaller tanker can carry between 70,000 and 190,000 barrels of oil, which is about 3.2 to 8 million gallons. A larger tanker can carry between 190,000 and 345,000 barrels, which is around 8 to 14.5 million gallons of oil. So, on a busy day, somewhere between 2.4 billion gallons of oil pass through the Strait of Gibraltar. For comparison, the United States consumes approximately 20 million barrels of oil per day, which equates to about 840 million gallons. This means that the amount of oil passing through the Strait of Gibraltar on a busy day is nearly 3 times the daily oil consumption of the United States. The Strait of Gibraltar is an important route for vessels around the world, which means this natural passage brings huge amounts of money into countries that flank the mouth of the strait. Since the waters around the Strait of Gibraltar are so lucrative, it's no surprise that so many important ports and shipping facilities have been built, such as the Port of Algeciras in Spain, one of the largest ports.
When the doors closed last time, people went nuts. By popular